Well, look at what we have here. Tuna noodle casserole the way my mama used to make it. So come on into the kitchen because I'm certain she would be thrilled to share her recipe with you. Hi there, it's Grandma Roseanne and we're going to make a nostalgic dish today. This is one from my childhood. My mom used to make it for us. My brothers and I loved it so much. So to me, this is comfort food. We're going to make a tuna noodle casserole. Oh my goodness, I think you're gonna love it. Now I want to start out with the topping because the topping gives you the crunch and it gives you additional flavor, and I think it's really good. So in my favorite pan here, which I love this pan, I have 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just gonna melt it down. And I will tell you, what I do is I make kind of a hearty amount of this and then I freeze it because it freezes beautifully, you guys. So if you've got kids that are, well, right now we're in Christmas, you've got Christmas plays and pageants and all kinds of festivities, and maybe you want a really quick dinner for those kiddos when you get home, this one you can just pop out of the freezer a couple of hours ahead and then pop it into your oven and you got dinner. And I love this. Now, obviously, my kids are very grown, but there's just times I want this and I don't feel like cooking. So I freeze it for myself. Now while this is melting, I'm using Pankos, and if you're not familiar with it, they're delicious. It's a Japanese breadcrumb, and I have 1 cup in here, but you'll see that it's one really heaping cup. And the reason for that is I ended up with just that much at the bottom of the package. Not enough to put back in my counter and too much to throw away. So, in goes our Pankos. And that was 1 cup. And we're just going to toast this. And to this, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Pankos just by themselves are fantastic, but when you add the Parmesan cheese, it takes it to another level and delicious. And it's a very exciting combination. And this really just takes a couple of minutes for it to brown. And the cheese doesn't have to be all the way melted if your Pankos is already browned and the cheese isn't completely melted, because we're going to put it in the oven anyway, so it'll finish melting in the oven. I can turn that heat up or I can be here forever. I happen to love Parmesan cheese, so right now the fragrance of this is just amazingly beautiful. And you do want to stay with this for 2 reasons. Number 1, the Pankos can burn very quickly, and number 2, your Parmesan cheese can stick to the bottom and burn as well. So you just want to just hang with it for a few minutes, give it a little bit of a stir. Now they're starting to toast really nicely. Okay, we're there. Oh my goodness, this pan is heavy. Okay. Now we're going to set this aside because we don't need it until the very end. All right, next we're going to make our white sauce. It's also called a bechamel, and it is a very, very simple sauce to make. It's better if you get the paper out of the butter. And it's very simple. It's equal parts. So I have equal parts of butter and flour. I'm going to melt this down. And now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of flour. You definitely want to cook that flour down. You want to get that raw taste out of it. And depending on how loose you want the sauce, it would be 2 cups of water, so it's 2, 2, and 2. I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of water because I don't want it really loose. And this just has to cook down just for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to start pouring my milk in. And just so future reference for you, cold milk, hot flour, and butter never lumps. You don't have to worry about that. As this cooks, it will thicken. I don't know if you've ever seen a whisk like this. It's fantastic because it does this. It flattens on the bottom of your pan. So if you're making a sauce like this, or you're making a custard or anything like that, this is amazing. I love this little whisk. I just got it off of Amazon. Wasn't expensive, it was just a few dollars. It's only been about 2 minutes and it is very, very nicely thickened. Now I'm going to add in, and I don't know how much, you guys, just kind of do it by taste, because you're going to taste it in a minute and make sure it's got enough seasonings for you. So just a little bit. Oh, this is very nice and thick. I'm going to add about another ½ cup of milk to that, simply because this recipe calls for noodles, and the noodles would extrude some starch, and that's going to thicken the sauce even a little bit more. So I probably have I probably have 2 cups of milk in here total. And this is a very nice consistency right now. But I want to taste it and make sure that we are at the level of seasoning that's good for our palate. Needs a little bit more salt. A little bit more pepper. That should do it. Can you see how nice and thick that is? All right, now we can move this to the side. Now we are getting ready for the vegetables. In my pan, I'm melting down 2 tablespoons of butter. We're getting close to Christmas. I love poinsettias. I just love them, and they grow so well here in California. So after I have used a potted poinsettia, my landscape guy takes it out and sticks it in the yard, and they blossom beautifully. Years and years of value comes from that. All right, now I'm going to start with about a cup of onion that I have diced. I like the onion to have a little head start. Then I'm going to add, like I've got gorilla arms or something, I think I can reach that far over. I have got a cup of celery that has been sliced fairly thin. And as soon as this cooks down a little bit, then I'm going to add 2 cups of mushrooms that I have sliced, because the mushrooms will just reduce in size so much. But I do want to make sure that we get all of the water out of the mushrooms. Okay. Now, I will tell you how to shorten the recipe. Rather than make the white sauce, many recipes and many people use cream of mushroom soup. I have tried it with the cream of mushroom soup. I'm not particularly a fan of it. I don't particularly like canned soups, and I don't like all the sodium that's in there, and I really kind of like being able to make our own sauce the way we want it, seasoned the way we like it. But if you're in a hurry or in a pinch, definitely you can do that. If you don't have time or you don't desire to make the Pankos, you can top them with, these are chow mein noodles. This is la choy, but everybody carries them. but the noodles are very good on top. They really are. I've made it with the noodles on top, and I like it. I really do. So if you don't have time or you don't have the interest of making that, just pop these on the top. They're crunchy and they're good. So if you are using the noodles for the topping, the cream of mushroom for the liquid part of it, and canned mushrooms, you just actually made a very, very fast meal. You really did. Okay, these are cooked down nicely, and they don't have to cook down all the way, you guys, simply because, as I said before, it's going in an oven. All right, we're getting ready to assemble. In my bowl, I have 3 cans of tuna. I did not go to the fishmonger, because I'm sure my mother never went there, but I'm using 3 cans. And it's good, I like it, okay? I drained it quite well, and I did leave some chunks in there because I think that's kind of nice as well. And if you only want to use 2 cans, that's perfectly fine. I just like a lot of tuna. And will you notice, those of you that don't like to do dishes, I've done all of this in one pan. That's pretty darn good, you gotta admit. Let's mix that all up. So what I did before I started filming is I cooked egg noodles. I think I cooked about 8 ounces of egg noodles. I think it's too many. So it just kind of, I don't know, don't do what I did. Maybe use a little bit less. Before I started filming, I started water boiling, salted water. I threw in about 8 ounces of egg noodles. I have too many, you don't need to have that much. And cooked them until they were al dente, just about 6 minutes. Because again, I keep saying it, but they're gonna cook more in the oven. So we don't want so much. This is looking pretty darn good. Oh, I definitely did not need 8 ounces, but I'll use those for something else because I love egg noodles. And now I'm going to add some frozen peas. I don't know how much, just however much you want. These are really frozen in a block. Personally, I like the Petite ones. I just think they just are nicer in this dish. Now we will add our sauce. My oven has been heating at 350 degrees. This is a 9 by 13 pan. I'm just going to grease it. You can cook it in any size pan you want. It's just I have this one and I like it. We will add our entire mixture. I will just spread it out evenly in my pan. And let's get over here and get these pankos. And you're just going to want to just spread them evenly. Oh, these smell really good. I will tell you, you can buy tuna noodle casserole in the frozen section of the grocery store. Once you try this, I will guarantee you, you will never buy that again. And it really didn't take us very much time at all, did it? I mean, we put this together pretty darn quick. All right, now I'm going to put it into my 350 oven, probably 25 to 30 minutes. I'm just gonna kind of watch it towards the end. It just should be bubbling, okay? It's looking good? It's looking good. I'll see you back in a few. Okay, did you see how really gorgeous it turned out? Now, you have to let it rest for a little bit, like maybe 10 or 15 minutes, so it'll set up a little bit. And now let's just see how nicely that's set up because we were patient and waited. Okay, Mmm. Wow. That is spectacular, you guys. It really is. Now, look at how I showed you how much I had here. So what I'm going to do is just portion it out. I'm going to freeze it. And when I just want a quick meal, I will just take it out and defrost it and heat it up, and it's perfect. Thank you so much. You know the ingredients will be below. I think I told you I'm going to start posting every Saturday. So step into my channel because you might be just, I don't know, developing something very interesting that you can serve over the weekend. So I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me today. Come back anytime. I am posting every Saturday and several throughout the week, but definitely on Saturday. Ingredients will be below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will see you on the next video. Bye.